It's a tech version of the wizard hiding behind the curtain, to cite another movie riding a craze right now. And it's that kind of sleight of hand which can lead Musk, an unelected insider taking this government post, to attack unelected insiders. He's now criticizing, quote, unelected bureaucrats and unelected civil servants for their powers. He claims this is anti-democratic in a new piece in the Trump-friendly Journal, when he is, of course, the unelected appointee. Musk is smart. He knows he's unelected. If some will call him on this new hypocrisy, he can just say he was trolling. But for others, the tricks, the distractions, the hiding, it all can work, just as it did in the Coliseum. Is there any other path here, a yellow brick road to freedom from these capitalist tyrants, as it were? Well, there may be answers from our next guest, who, I should tell you, suggested both of these film references in his new Elon Musk analysis. We're joined by Obama campaign veteran and friend of the beat, Jay Komanduri. Welcome. I quoted your film comparisons. Explain.
Yeah, I mean, to think about it, Elon Musk is very much the man behind the curtain, except he's very much in front of the curtain. He is dancing and prancing in front of the curtain. And Trump 2.0 is very much looking like Elon Musk 1.0. He has taken over Trump and MAGA and the Republican Party in a manner that is very similar to the way Trump and MAGA took over the Republican Party 8-10 years ago. And what Musk did here was he kind of saw a very clear investment opportunity. The Republican Party is led by an elderly man who is increasingly deluded, distracted, and extremely greedy. He saw an opportunity here also with the fact that there is no clear MAGA successor. And he said, the Republican Party is there for the taking. I just have to do a deal with Trump, and then it's going to be mine. And that is exactly what has occurred here. Elon Musk owns the Republican Party in the way that Donald Trump owned the Republican Party 10 years ago.
It's, you know, you make such an interesting point, and you drew our attention to something people vaguely know but don't realize the extent to which he is a government-related business titan. And I'm not taking away from his accomplishments. If you read the Isaacson biography, he's got an interesting career. But look at his federal contracts, right? It's not one or two. It's sort of a who's who of federal agencies. Look at the investigations into his companies, though, and you see that it works both ways. Justice, labor, transportation have looked into his practices. And so then you have a quote given to ABC News about his overlord status. If you're on the wrong side of these votes, you're buying yourself a primary, and Elon Musk is going to finance it. That's a Trump aid. How is this not a concerning kleptocratic shakedown?
Oh, it should be extremely concerning. I mean, we are living, as Bernie Sanders would say, increasingly in an oligarchy, and the oligarch is Elon Musk, the world's richest man. I mean, just look at what happened with this Department of Government Efficiency called Doge. If people don't know this, Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency that Elon Musk has heavily promoted. He has done it over the years. It started kind of as a joke, but he saw that the more he promoted it, the more its value increased. It is now worth about $55 billion thanks to Elon Musk's promotion. And it is widely believed that Elon Musk is a huge investor in this Dogecoin.
And just to jump in, because some of this stuff sounds so new, they're naming the Trump Government Oversight Board after this. So in a way, although it's a new brand, it's no different, according to what you're saying, Che, than naming something the Exxon division of the government or the Coca-Cola division, which would seem like an unfair government boost or even quid pro quo corruption.
Exactly. I mean, it would be like having the Exxon division of the government with Rex Tillerson in charge of it and him still being the largest CEO and shareholder in Exxon and making money every single time, basically, Exxon was mentioned in the news. I mean, that is what Elon Musk is doing. He is basically using this all as a massive financial grift for himself. And to think about this in Wizard of Oz terms, I mean, we talk about how smart Elon Musk is, how he's a tremendous engineer of genius, and I don't take that away from him. He has a brain. He has courage. I think you have to have courage to dance around on stage like he does. But he doesn't have a heart. What Elon Musk believes is what is in his own direct self-interest is in everybody's interest. He cannot understand that what is in the best interest of the country is not something that does not personally benefit him. He is massively selfish, and we are all going to be paying the wages of his selfishness for the years to come.
And Che, I know there was some character in that production who said we're not in South Africa anymore.
No, we're not. Although I think it's very unfortunate if you look at some of Musk's background and history. He appears to be taking us to a part of that past that I think is very regrettable.
But I was making the Kansas reference.
Yes, I do. I understand.
You got it.
That, yes.
I thought you got it.
Yes,
yeah.
I got it.
So your lack of laughter was just because it wasn't very funny.
No. I just, I get very worked up and emotional about Elon Musk and about the fact that working class people voted for Trump because they thought that he would be good for them and good for their interests. And the reality is Elon Musk and Donald Trump have fooled them. They are doing something that is good for Elon Musk, but not good for them.
Yeah, and I think your points about oligarchy, about the distractions matter, and the election's over. So we're back to governing and oversight and dealing with it. And there's a lot to deal with here. Che Komanduri, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up on this special edition of The Beat, Microsoft visionary Steve Ballmer on the future of big tech and why he's fighting for facts and against disinformation. And then Lin-Manuel Miranda talking about the Obamas and the Hamilton effect and some ideas about how to stay positive. Stay with us.
How do you make magic?
You want customers to know they can trust your business, that their information is safe with you. And to prove it, you need one of these. Thankfully, there's Vanta. Vanta integrates with the tools you already use, from cloud providers to task trackers, to automate the tedious process of gathering the evidence needed to successfully complete a security audit. Secure and grow your business with Vanta, the fast, easy, and trusted way to get compliant.
When I was younger, my calling was to play football. But as I grew older, I realized life isn't about how many people you can knock down. It's about how many people you can lift up. At Ram, our calling is to build game-changing trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Now during the Ram Black Friday sales event, get $5,000 combined cash allowance. Plus current Ford brand owners or lessees get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks.
From priceless moments that we are curating and creating, we moved to the next level where it was all about curating priceless movements. If we were to look at launching a Priceless Planet Coalition, nobody will say this seems to be completely disjointed and unconnected from the previous one. Or when we were actually having partnerships with Stand Up to Cancer Foundation to help Stand Up to Cancer Foundation discover drugs, do research and discover drugs for cure of cancer. There are a lot of things which can go wrong if you're not careful. If your fulfillment is not really standing up to the promise, Priceless will lose its value. It has entered into the vernacular of various countries and cultures globally, and it's been resonating extremely well. So that now is really building our brand. It is driving business differentiation and therefore moving the business forward.
The government thought that showing the world separation, they would scare people that were attempting to come from coming.
It troubles me profoundly that it could happen again.
corporations that are right now responsible for America's greatest wealth and the hottest debates over truth are tech companies. That includes Microsoft, which is now driving AI through the company's ancillary group OpenAI, which does ChatGPT. And Steve Ballmer was its legendary CEO, current owner of the LA Clippers. He has over $100 billion in wealth, making him the 7th richest person in the whole world. He is a visionary on tech and business and is now spending some of that money on a new project to advance facts. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ari. My pleasure.
Really excited to talk to you about a lot of things, and there's so much that you're involved with. But let's start with USA Facts, which is an organization that is about facts. We're going to show some of what you're doing. But first, tell us why, with all of your experience in tech and candidly billions of dollars, you want to engage on facts and truth in the discourse right now.
When I retired from Microsoft, my wife said, "Come on, you're gonna work with me now in our family philanthropy, which is focused in on economic mobility, kids who might not have a shot, let's say, at the American dream by virtue of their circumstance of birth. So how do you help those kids?" And I said to my wife, "Oh, that's what our tax dollars help with. We don't really need to do much." I'm working with my wife on that challenge, but I also wanted to prove to myself a little bit, maybe I was right. So I tried to go really find out who pays taxes, what do we spend them on, how much wealth gets transferred in the system. And it led me to the broader issue of really trying to understand our government in its entirety. Where does the money come from? What does it get spent on? What kind of outcomes? And I got fired up about that for my own edification. Really hard to do on the internet, I found, when I started this project 2014, 2015.
You didn't find the internet just super fact-friendly?
It wasn't that it wasn't fact-friendly. It was that the things weren't assembled in a way